Yeah, I don't have any IT experience as of now.
Okay, that's great. All right. How about you, RK? If you're speaking, you're on mute. Okay. Yeah. No issues. Yeah. So you're into any IT background? Okay, or how it is? You have any experience? No problem. Fine. It's fine. Let's start the demo then. I might share my screen. So this is the course which we are going to go through it. Okay, about the service now. So it's going to take in between, the buffer will be 45 to 50 days or might extend 1 week based on the holidays and all. Okay, so these are, we have two kinds of sessions. One will be first the administration sessions and then the development sessions. Okay, first we will go with the administration, then once it is completed, then we'll go for the development. Okay, all these topics we are going to cover. We will shuffle the topics based on the understandings. Okay, so it might go here and there, but all the topics will be covered. And these are all the administrative related, and these are from some development related. So coming to the service now, we'll just give an overview of the service now. Okay, in detail we'll discuss with each topic based on this one. Okay, the course content, but I'll give you an overview of the service now, how it got evolved and how it started, who are the competitors and all. Okay, service now previously, like in the initial days, uh, people used to call it as a ticketing tool. Say, okay, it started in 2004, and it has competitors such as Zira, BMC Remedy, Salesforce is one of the competitors. IBM has own ticketing tool, HP has own ticketing tool. So these are all competitors for ServiceNow. Okay. So uh, one guy who invented the ServiceNow is Fred Ludy. Okay. He is part of the BMC Remedy for 20 years. Okay. He started, previously he was working with BMC Remedy for 20 years. Then he thought of coming out of the organization and he started in 2003 and he bought into the market in 2004 initially. So, but it went public in the year 2011 and 12, between 2011 and 2012. Okay. So it has expanded and it offered several solutions to the end users or the clients, we can say. So it became in the market, it became a big tool service now. Now it's providing like various operations and various automation solutions across worldwide, across different organizations. And also it's a cloud based, we can say, because it offers as platform as a service. Okay, you can see here, it's one of the cloud based tool. Yeah, so it falls under perform platform as a service. Okay, so cloud, you might be having an idea like where all the deliverables, okay, we can say, so coming to the cloud computing refers to like it delivers various services over the internet instead of going on premises. Like you don't need to have any infrastructure to work with the service now. You can just simple have an internet, okay, and if you have an access to the service now instance, yes, you can work from anywhere globally. Okay, so that's how the service now is currently providing the operations services to the end users. As I've told you, ServiceNow evolved in the year 2011 and 2012 by Fred Lowy. So we'll see who can use the service now. So it's a versatile platform, you can say. Previously it was tool, but now it became as a platform as service. So we can call it as a platform. ServiceNow is a platform, and it provides across various industries, and it used by various organizations also. Okay, I'll say a few examples here. IT departments uses them. Okay. Any organization who is into IT or into customer service, okay, or in healthcare, resources uses security related organizations for performing their security operations. Yes, they will use the service now. Even in the finance, they use service now. Healthcare, yes, healthcare industry also doing it. Manufacturing. Okay. So basically, this is based on the we have an ITSM process, that is information technology service management. Okay, whatever the operations we do in the IT organizations. Okay, so they should have a proper structure in order to, you cannot, if you join an organization, not only IT, any organization, you cannot simply go and request something to the HR or to your manager. It should follow through a process. Okay. That process is catered with this particular tool. Okay. You open the tool, you submit a request, and that request gets approved, and it goes to the respective departments. So all this process accumulated in ServiceNow. Okay? It provides all these kinds of services. So in order to follow the process and the best practices, okay, in order to fulfill a request, in order to make your request fulfilled, okay. So in the organizations, we use ServiceNow. So if you talk about the IT departments, okay, they are into operations, okay. So in order to streamline the operations and to perform smooth operations, they'll use the ServiceNow tool, and they for the business management, ITBM, you can say. Okay. So the customer service. Okay. So what customer service is something like, you can say e-commerce websites like Amazon, Flipkart, they are into customer service, right? Once they place an order, if there is an issue, how can they track that particular issue? They have a tracking number or the request number or you can say the service request number. So in order to track all that, they'll be using the tools. Okay. So even the customer service can be managed with the help of ServiceNow. So it enhances the customer service people, okay, to streamline the customer process. So we have the automation in the customer service, which will help out in resolving the customer issues. Not only issues, you can say queries also. If they have come across any queries also, it can be resolved. So even for HRs, like, to improve the HR processes and improving employee experience, I can give you a general example why the HR wants to use the ServiceNow tool. We have a concept called onboarding. That means when an employee joins the organization, the onboarding happens. Correct. So once the employee is onboarded, it should go through a proper request. Employee ID will be generated, employee email will be generated. He should be assigned to a particular department based on his skill set. So how these all will be taken care? There should be some automation, or there should be some tool in order to achieve all these functionalities. So we use the ServiceNow. The HR departments will use the ServiceNow. So they'll try to log a request in the ServiceNow, and they'll go with one by one the step. The requests will be fulfilled. Okay, they will order a laptop for him. They will order a mobile for him. So all this will be tracked by using the ServiceNow. So if they want to check any employee's detail, they can go to the ServiceNow and they can check it. Okay, they can have all the information in front of them. So that's how the HR department works for the employee onboarding or the operational to improve the employee experience, okay, to automate the HR processes. All this, they will do it. Security operations also for managing security. If there are any organization who are into security, so to manage their security incidents in order to resolve the end users issues, they can use the ServiceNow. Okay. Finance also, if they want to manage the finances like payroll and financial reporting, if they want to process procurement, all these can be involved in the finance ServiceNow module. And these are all modules we can say. Okay, in the ServiceNow we have different modules. Like in the ITSM we have incident, problem, incident management, problem management, change management, service catalog, or request fulfillment. These are all modules. Okay, these will be discussed in detail during the training sessions. So you can see this one we are talking about. These are the applications and the modules. Here we have, yeah, incident management, problem, change, knowledge, relays, agile management. Okay, so ServiceNow follows the agile methodology. Okay, and the ITL best practices. Agile methodology is something. It has the process. Like previously, when the IT evolved, we had waterfall methodology. Okay, that's the traditional way of doing waterfall. Is a These all fall under software development lifecycle. You can say the first one is waterfall. Waterfall is something, it has more downtime because if the project is assigned to an organization, the project will go with the first planning. Even once planning is approved, then it will go for the design. Once the design is approved, it will go for the development. Then it will go for the testing and then the release and the deployment. If there are any changes in between they want to include in the waterfall method, it is difficult. Okay, first we have to finalize the project, then we have to go for the development. Okay, so in this way it used to work. So this is not recommended previously, but few projects used to follow waterfall because they don't have any other option. But the service now goes for the agile methodology, which planning, development, testing, review, release, and feedback. So even there is a requirement in between while working with the project. Yes, you can include that one. Okay, this cycle repeats for each iteration or sprint we can call. Okay, so this allows continuous improvement and the adaptation. So whenever the new change comes up for the existing functionality, we can adapt that particular change. So that helps us in order to achieve the tasks much more successful compared to the waterfall. Okay. And, so there are several prerequisites we can say for the service now to implement and use the service now. As I've told, if we are using on the cloud based, we can just need the internet connectivity. We should have a user account in order to log in and use the service now. That means a user account is something, it has proper roles and permissions in order to use it. Okay, and browser capability, you can say. So something we need to have the web browser up to date, and it's compatible with all Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Edge. Yeah, so all the browsers are supported, but it needs to be updated. Okay, the browser needs to be updated. And basic training we can say to understand how the ServiceNow navigation works and all to use the manage and the platform. So this is how the ServiceNow looks. Yeah, this is how the ServiceNow looks. The tool, or the platform you can say. Over here, we are talking about the modules, right? The applications. So if you type incident over here, you'll see the incident application. Under the incident application, you have all the modules. Okay? So this is how we will check. We will do all these during the classes, like how do we create incidents? How do we create a problem? How the problem form looks. If I'm opening this particular incident record, how does it look? So we will design, configure, customize. In the administration classes, we will design all these forms, these fields, okay, these buttons, everything we will be doing it in the administration part. then you might ask why the development classes. Whatever we are not able to achieve through the administration or the customization or the configuration, we will try to achieve through the scripting. So you might be worried like whether we have to know the scripting and all. So the basics of JavaScript will do. If you don't know the basics of JavaScript also, no worries. We will cover it, the basics in classes during the development classes. We will take 1 or 2 days for explaining the JavaScript. So ServiceNow has dedicated glide APIs, which glide API classes, which they have taken from the JavaScript. So we will dedicatedly use only those classes in the service now. So if you practice those syntaxes, that will be fine. You no need to master in the JavaScript in order to learn the service now. So whatever we are teaching in the classes, if you are able to practice them multiple times, okay, if you keep on practicing those syntaxes, that will suffice, okay, and that will help you out in learning the scripting part. If you have any queries, please let me know. You can stop and you can ask me. So once the administration is completed, all the classes, then we'll go for the development. Okay, whatever the customizations we have done in the development, we will try to achieve those through scripting also. So best practice and best recommended in ServiceNow is always go with the customization instead of scripting. So we'll try to see in the administration classes all the configurations, all the customizations which we can achieve without scripting. Okay. Every year ServiceNow releases 2 versions. Okay. Every year they will come up with 2 versions. So as I've told you, it started in 2012. Okay. Sorry, 2011. Yeah. So it started with Aspen. Okay. We won't discuss every year releases now. Let's discuss some latest releases. Currently, we are in Yokohama. Okay. Previous release was Janadu. So in this year, next release would be, I'll say, 2024. Every quarter, they will release one. So in 2 quarters, they release 2 versions. Okay. So they have released in 2024. Washington was the first one. And next was the Janadu. This both in 2024, 2025. Now currently the version is Yokohama. Partner testing is done. Partner is nothing but when you're signing up with an organization with the ServiceNow company itself becomes the partner, okay, to the company which purchase the subscription. Okay, next version is Zurich. So we can say in general how this particular ServiceNow is opted by any organization. So you can take it as a subscription like Amazon or Netflix. How do we subscribe? Based on the subscription, we get the users count, okay, and we will be able to use in our TVs. Similar way, the IT organizations try to contact the ServiceNow company and then create the subscription. And there will be 2 types of subscriptions, like fee-based and user roles. Like if they want to have unlimited user access, that subscription will be different. If they want to get the subscription for limited users, it will be different. So those things will be taken care by business analysts and system architects. So we don't deal with all those. Just for understanding, yeah, the ServiceNow works with the fee-based licenses. Okay, so they will, based on subscription, we will be having the access. So when the ServiceNow team provides, when you join a company and you are allocated with an admin role or a developer role, so it's a licensed role. They are providing it to you to work on your ServiceNow instances. So make sure whenever you are assigned with a particular role, you are appropriately using that particular role. Okay. What else we have? So why do we go for the cloud, if you ask? Okay. ServiceNow, because it is scalability. Okay, one is scalability. I mean, so we can, based on the resources, we can scale on demand, and when if there is the resources are getting decreased, we can scale it down on the demand, based on the demand. So for that reason only we go for the cloud. So as we no need to have a dedicated infrastructure to use the ServiceNow, as I've told you. So the ServiceNow company gives us the storage, databases, servers, networking, software, and many more. Okay. As we are going for the platform as a service, no need to configure anything in your local computer. Okay. So we can easily scale resources up and down based on the demand. Okay. And cost efficiency also, you can say. If you're going for on-premises, that is like a dedicated infrastructure, you're checking out to run any tool in your organization. So it involves a lot of cost. Okay. So, but where about this one, cost efficiency, you can just pay only for the resource you use. Okay. You can, no need to invest, you no need to make any large investments upfront. So you just pay for whatever you're trying to use it. Pay for only the resource you use. So this is one of the benefits, you can say. That's the reason we go for the cloud computing mostly. Accessibility, as I've told you, you can across any part of the world you are in, can still access the ServiceNow instance. You just need an user roles or user access, and then the internet connectivity, and the ServiceNow instance will be available. Once you have an internet connection and the user role, you can just log in, open the website, okay, ServiceNow, and then you can start working. Your company will provide you the URL for you to log in, okay, with the appropriate roles and all. So the accessibility is, you can access the data and the application from anywhere. So that's one of the benefit. Reliability, you can say, is very reliable. Okay. What does it mean? Means it's highly available. Okay. Whenever you have any problem, you will be able to recover the data easily. Okay. As it is provided by the cloud computing. Cloud computing is something like the market vendors. You can say Amazon Web Services is one of the cloud service provider, AWS, Microsoft Azure, which is one of the cloud service provider, and the GCP, that's Google Cloud Platform. So based on your organization tie-up, they will be choosing that particular service provider and they will be working. Okay. So this is highly available. So the recovery options are more by the cloud providers. That's the reliability we can say. And the utmost, the important one is security. So they have a robust security measures to protect the data. It's not accessible by everyone. Okay. They will put the VPNs and all, okay, in order to access the data securely. So these are some benefits we can talk about cloud computing. And as I've told you, the ServiceNow follows the ITL best practices. ITL is Information Technology Infrastructure Library. So even ITSM follows the ITL best practices, and eventually ServiceNow also follows the ITL best practices. Okay. So to help the organization to streamline the process to achieve the business needs, there should be some standards. Okay. You cannot simply make the rules by any organization and you just follow them. So ITL is certified and they provide certain rules like how to maintain all the items in an organization, how to cater them to the clients, how the services can be provided. All this will be explained in the ITL process. So if you take in the name itself, it suggests infrastructure library, information technology infrastructure library. Library means if you go to a library, everything will be organized. You know, if you want to check a comic book, if you want to check a different novels, okay, or journals, what you do, you go to that particular category and you will select from that fantasy or horror or based on the genre you like. So in similar way, here also everything is arranged in a such a way that you can easily check for it and you can just look into it, okay, or you can just order that particular request. So the ITL will help you out in order to do all those business needs, okay, in order to align the IT services basically. So information, basically these are followed by the IT organizations, okay. But suppose if you take a general example, if you have a breakdown at your home, the internet connectivity is down. So what you do, you call your ISP, that is internet service provider, and you submit a request. Okay, you can, if you tell them like, my internet is not working, they don't come up simply without submitting a request and they don't work on it. Okay, they will log a ticket. They will ask you to troubleshoot initially. If the issue is fixed, then they'll close the ticket. Otherwise, they will arrange a technician. The technician will come. He will check all the cables, or if anything is breakdown from their end or on the pole or something. Yeah, based on the troubleshooting, they will try to mention the details and they will close the ticket. Okay, so in that way, there is a process. Okay, similar way, the process in ServiceNow is followed by using the ITL. Okay. So why, as we are talking about the competitors, we have BNC Remedy, Jira. Those tools are not so user friendly compared to the ServiceNow. ServiceNow, if the user is provided with basic training, they'll be the end user, the client, whoever is using this application. We are the supporting people, okay, for the application. Whoever using the ServiceNow to platform, instead of tool we can call platform. So the end user, so if you joined an X organization and that particular organization is supporting some clients who is using ServiceNow, so you will be the part of ServiceNow development or ServiceNow administration who will be supporting their issues. Okay, so you troubleshoot if there is an issue with the ServiceNow. Okay, if you are not able to fix it, as we are the partners with ServiceNow company, okay, we will submit a ticket to, like, how do you, if there is a problem in your internet, how do you submit a ticket? Similar way, we submit a ticket to the, that's, we call it as high case, okay, support ticket or support ticket. If your Netflix account is not working, you have paid for the subscription, but it is not on. So you'll reach to the customer care of Netflix and you submit a ticket, right? Similar way, if ServiceNow is working, not acting properly, if there is a downtime, so how do we do that? As we are the intermediate phase between the client and the ServiceNow, so we will submit a request. Okay, we will submit a support ticket or a case ticket, high case we call it. You will have the access to that as an administrator and developer, and you will try to fix it by connecting with the partner team. Okay, there will be a dedicated team from the ServiceNow partner. They will be helping out in resolving the issues. So we can say this architecture, ServiceNow provides like the scalable flexibility and the security for managing various business operations and all. So these are all the, so in detail we can discuss during the other classes, okay, how this will work, how the incident management will work, how the problem management will work, all the, these are the core concepts which we are going to discuss. We talk about this one. These are the main core concepts. We'll let you know the complete end-to-end process for the incident, problem, change, how it flows from the starting to the end, how the ticket is raised, how the ticket is closed, what are the stages we have, okay, what are the columns we come across, what are the assignment groups and all. Okay, in detail we will be discussing. So based on these core concepts, you will be working on only two things in your organization when you join as a ServiceNow administrator or a developer. That is, one is form level and one is list. This is form level. This is called a form. And the same thing when you're checking all the records available in the incident table. This is the list level. So in these two only, everything will run around. Okay, so you'll be working on only these two. If the end user is asking to change something on this one, how can you do it? Whether you will be able to do it through customization or you need scripting to be involved. So you will get the knowledge through this training too. So how can you achieve all this? Okay. This is how it works. Any questions so far? Because if I'm giving too much information now, you won't be able to understand. We will follow the step by step. I will let you know how to create the ServiceNow one instance based on your email, personal email. Okay, and you will be having access to this particular ServiceNow instance. You can practice on daily the topics, whatever we discuss. Okay, so you'll get in the access to the particular instance also. So all these will be discussed during the user administration. You can see how we can configure the account and all. This is what we are talking about, account creation. We'll try to create one development account for each one of you, and then we will try to check all of them. So whatever we learned, I'll be giving the notes through the running notes, and at the end of the week, I'll be giving you the complete documentation for that particular week, and you can follow that. So each and every topic will be covered. Whatever I discuss, you can practice it at your home in your personal instance. All these topics will be covered. Any questions? Because if I give too much information, it will be overwhelming for you in the first step. So, yes. I think we have one more siren. So you have any IT
Yeah,
background?
hi Ajay. Sorry,
Yeah,
I joined late.
no
I
problem.
was not aware of this. Yeah, just
Okay, you
gone
will
through
have,
this.
okay, you will get the recording after this session. You can go through it,
Okay,
whatever we have
sure,
discussed.
sure.
So
Yeah.
you're into IT background, or how it is? How do you come across?
Yes. I work in SAP platform.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted this GRC data porting
Mm-hmm.
basically, and I worked in GRC, SAP GRC, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking for something in GRC over here also.
Okay,
I'm looking for the cross platform kind
okay.
of interface and all.
So you're basically, you want to integrate the GRC with the your SAP thing. Service now.
Correct. I'm SAP basis guy,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm looking for something the cross platform
Okay, you want to make it
interface and
cross-scale.
other things.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yes. All right. Yeah, no issues. We have a topic called integrations in this one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
After the end of the development classes, we will discuss like how can we integrate with the third-party applications. Here you can see by using the REST and SOAP. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we can integrate with. We will discuss some LDAP integrations also in the initial classes in the
Mm-hmm.
administrative part. So how do we bring the Active Directory user accounts from the server to the service now? So in similar way, we'll have some kind of REST and SOAP integrations, unidirectional, bidirectional, and what kind of
Mm-hmm.
authentications we provide. So we can bring the demo data as we don't work with the real time. That's not recommended. So we work
Mm-hmm.
with demo servers and demo data, and we can import the data externally to the service now. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that
Okay.
will be helping you out. Yeah,
Okay.
yes. So
All right. Thank you.
initial, yeah, no problem. Thank you. Yeah, any other questions from anyone else? This is just the overview and the basics of service now, we can say. We will discuss in detail one by one how the user accounts are created, how roles are created, how do we restrict the users to access and all. Okay, there is a concept called access control lists. We have SLAs. Yeah, this is the one which we're talking about. Basically, on the data, we carry out 4 operations, that is create, read, delete, and update. So how do we do that? By using in the service now, how do we manipulate the data? How do we edit the data? How do we update it? How do we create? How do we delete? So all these will be taken care during the ACL's concept. So if the user is not able to access something on ServiceNow platform, that means the user is not allowed with the proper access or the appropriate roles is not present. So that's how we troubleshoot. When the user reaches you, the end user states that the application is not accessible. So first you'll check whether the role is particular role regarding that application is provided to the user or not. So all these troubleshooting, all these steps you will be checking as a ServiceNow administrator and developer. Okay. So these are all the steps involved. Like we have a service desk, right, in IT industry. Like if you have any issue with your laptop or something is broken, okay, in your organization, you'll try to reach an help desk team or an IT service desk team. So they will they will troubleshoot. They'll be the first point of contact for you. So how do they fix it? They will submit an incident. They'll state like your Wi-Fi is down or your hardware is not working, something. So all this process will be discussed. Okay, how they can log the ticket and all. And our point of like, you will understand the process for the incident, knowledge, problem, change, and all these applications. After understanding the process, we will go in detail like how these forms can be customized, how these values can be brought into the in regards to the user perspective, like how the users will be looking this one, how they are going to access, how they want to change the options. Okay, all these will be we will be doing the as in person. So we will be supporting all this. The user wants like, instead of state, he wants something else. Okay. He wants to make it as a stage instead of state. How do we do that? Okay. Here, instead of category, he wants to add a new category. How do we do that? Okay. Instead of urgency, he wants to something else. Okay. So all these changes, all these modifications, all these customizations or configurations, we can say, we can achieve it by using the administrations part, and we'll learn all these things. Okay. Basically, the end user will be seeing only these things, the form, or they will be seeing this one, the service portal. Yeah. So the end users some end users, based on their role, they will be only seeing this one. They don't have access to the instance. Okay. They might not have access. Some users might have based on their role. So they will be ordering everything from here. So in order to look, even this one we will design. Okay. Even on this one, if you want to add any particular category or a catalog, or if you want to add something similar to the request item, now you can do it from here. Okay. As an administrator or a developer, you know how to do that one. So the end user, finally, he will be seeing from here, he will be ordering something from here. He wants to create an incident, suppose he will be creating it from here. Okay. If he wants to, let's go to the home. I'll say create incident. If he types, yeah, can see we'll submit an incident from here. Once the user submits an incident from here, he will have only few fields here. But if you come to the incident from here, if you are creating a new one, you'll have several fields. So if you users tries to submit from here, if you users tries to submit from the service portal. So you can see if I'm creating a new incident from the platform, we'll have several fields. But if you're creating from here, we'll have just only two things. What is the urgency and what is the issue? So if I'm submitting this one, you'll see an incident number got created. This is the incident number. Okay. I'll try to open it from here. This is the global search, we call it. If I'm typing it here, it will be showing up, or else you can go to the incidents all. You can see the one which we have created just now from the portal is showing up here. Now, if you go to this particular thing, you'll see all the fields. Some fields are auto-populated. Okay. Who has submitted the incident? The channel, you can see when you are doing it from here, service portal, the channel will be self-service. Similar way, you have different channels like email, chat, phone, or walk-in, okay, or virtual agent chat, something based on the type, it will be selected. So all these things we will discuss, like how can we created these sections, how these related lists will be shown. We will explain each one of them, like what these are called, what these will be called, what these buttons are called, everything we will be discussing. So the complete design, the layout of this particular form, we will be doing it. Okay. So we can use, the beautiful thing about ServiceNow is they have provided so many out-of-box functionalities that is predefined. Okay. We can use it. Okay. And it's also recommended. The best practice is always go for predefined things. Okay. That is out of box. Okay. Which is provided by the ServiceNow. After they have worked with several iterations, and when they have worked with several customers and clients, they have come across like these are the basics which can be used, and they have bought a lot of functionalities which are already configured and available. You can just use them. Okay. So we will try to discuss all the out-of-box functionalities, and apart from that, we'll try to create custom. So that is customized. What we want to achieve similar to the out-of-the-box functionalities, or how the out-of-box functionality are designed or customized. We will try to do the same thing by using the customized, so that we will understand like how these are created, how these mandatory fields are created, how these drop downs are created. All this we will do it by using the custom application. For your understanding, for the training purpose, we will do the custom. But in real time, if you want to make every time the custom application, then it will cost you. So it is not recommended. And even the licenses the company purchased from the ServiceNow, it is limited. So they will say like only these many custom applications you can customize in your instance. So it's always recommended to go with the out-of-box functionality. Okay, but we will discuss the custom applications so that in future, if you come across any requirement for the custom application, yes, you will be able to do the custom application. Okay. So yeah, these are the topics which we are going to cover. These will shuffle based on the requirements, but all the topics will be covered at time. Anything else you want to add?
How about the service now integration with the API?
Yeah, API we will be using because integration is something like application programming interface. Yes, as I've told you, the rest and the SOAP, we will cover all the methods which we use to for the troubleshooting the integration and all. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, all the methods will be covered, and we will use the demo servers to perform all these actions. We won't be using any real time. We are not allowed and we are not recommended to do it. All the explanation will be done with the test servers only. Okay. Use cases, we will try to compare the real-time use cases and we will convert those labels and all, and we'll try to provide you the use cases. Okay. And we'll explain each example with several use cases. Okay. How can we achieve it in multiple ways and all? Because in ServiceNow, we'll have different methods for the same achieving something. See, I can open incidents from here, create new. Okay. It opens a new form, or else I can do incident.do. It also opens a new form. So this is multiple ways. Okay. If I'm opening this one, incident, as a developer or administrator, you will be knowing it. The end user won't have it. Yeah. If I'm opening here from all, yes, the end user might open in this way, but how do you open? You will open in a different way. You can see it opens the same one. Okay. So these are what you call the navigation tricks and all you will be learning. Okay. The end user won't have access to something. I'll show you. The end user won't have option to configure. Okay. But as a developer and administrator, based on your role, you will get it. Okay. These things. End user only be able to see this form and he will be able to just fill the details and he'll able to submit or save it. But as a developer and administrator, you'll be able to see all this. If you go to the form layout, you will see how these fields are arranged, how these fields. So all these options will be available to you only you because you are an administrator and the developer for ServiceNow platform. Okay. So all these will be discussed so that at the final result, the end user will be the one who is working. You will be the one who will be designing, developing, and testing. And the end user is the one who will be using this particular forms. It might be any form. For example, so we will discuss about these core functionalities. The form will change, the labels will change, but the functionality will remain the same. Whatever you're doing, you can do it on any form or any list level or any application. Okay, the same functionality you can do it. Only the naming convention will change. Okay, based on your organization styling guide, you will follow those. That's all. Remaining all will be in place. Clear?
Where do you work, Ajay?
Sorry?
Where do you work?
I'm not supposed to reveal that information. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
No, by the way, have you worked in any of the SAP interfaces? Just out of my curiosity, I'm just asking.
Not SAP interfaces, but we do deal with SAP because the Active Directory information it will be stored in the SAP itself. So
okay.
Yes, yeah. So whatever the information the HR stores in the SAP tool, that information, if you have any issues, so with the help of LDAP integration, the troubleshooting will be carried out.
Okay. Okay.
You might be aware of the Active Directories information, everything will come for the SAP team first. Based on their inputs, the Active Directory, all the information gets reflected. So yeah, if there is an issue with the SAP to Active Directory, it won't work. Yeah.
Basically, in SAP BTP platform has got this ServiceNow interface is there. Interface meaning that can be integrated. So in that aspect, that angle, I'm just looking. Probably you may have it, and that's the reason I was asking. Otherwise, fine.
Yeah, we didn't integrate so far, but we have used LDAP integration and some kind of
Okay.
I mean, because we don't deal with, we troubleshoot only in scope of ServiceNow. Okay, whatever you do it in the organization, whatever it falls under the ServiceNow scope only, we will do it. Once that third party who's managing the other application, it falls under their scope. Whatever the data is sent from the ServiceNow to that particular application, whether it is being sent correctly or not, we'll check by using the codes, right? While doing the integration, we will have receive some error codes or successful codes. Based on that code only, we can decide whether the service now is sending data properly or not. Okay, so that in that scope, yes, we will check. It might be SAP, it might be something else, it might be any ERP tool, PeopleSoft, or anything it might be. Okay, because we'll have different integrations when we join the service now. Several clients will be working from different domains. So whatever the data they update in their domain, it should be reflected in our service now instance. If it is properly reflecting, then the integration works fine. If it is not, then there might be an issue from their end, whether they are not properly providing the data correctly in the format they are requested to, like the JSON, okay, JavaScript object notation, or it might be an issue from our end if we are not giving the correct IDs. Okay, we haven't configured correctly in the integration, so we have to check. That's our scope. So the data flow is something, it will be taken care by individual parties. Our scope of work will be like configuring properly the integration. Once the data is flowed properly, yes, the integration is working properly. So we'll troubleshoot, we'll check the codes, whether if you have any issues at that point of time, yeah, you can, we'll check. But I don't have any demo server where we can integrate with the SAP.
Okay. No problem.
Yeah. So it's the same
And
concept.
it includes the SecOps, right? The security operations and all. So
no.
what exclusive? Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
We don't have security operations actually. We have optional something is ITOM because we need mid servers here. As we companies only purchase the mid servers, so even the demo data mid servers also we don't have it. But I will provide you the links where you can demo it on by yourself. I'll let you know the process. How do you can order a mid server and all? Okay, the test server. So all this process will be explained.
Okay.
Yeah, there is no security operations because if we are going dedicatedly with the security operations, that's a different module. Okay, and it will take time.
Okay.
Yeah, it will take another 20 to 25 days. Apart from this, yeah, it's a completely different module which manages risk assessment and all will be taken care in the security operations, governance and all. Yeah.
Okay. So is it basically it's going to come under GRC?
Yes, it's a part of GRC, you can say, security operations. I mean, they use the security operations also to manage the risk assessments and all. I haven't worked on the security operations. I have worked on different modules like ITOM, operations module, ITBM, portfolio management. So each module, what I'm saying is all the modules, only the process will change and the naming convention will change, but the core concepts remain same. That's what I'm saying. So whatever you do it in the incident, problem, change, or service catalog, the same will be applied with the different modules. Like whatever you're saying, the sec operations, that form looks different. Okay, if you open, this is incident form, right? If I'm opening change, the form will look different, but the behind functionality will remain same. You can compare. How this process works, the organization will provide you the knowledge transfer. You can see if I'm opening a change here, the form looks different. You can see it is different from the incident, right? So yeah, there is the incident. Yes, this is the incident form and this is the change form. You can see the flow is different, the states here it is different. So how these can be achieved, you can do it once you know the process, once you know the function, I mean how the customization works, you can do it on any form or any application, you can say. In the security operations, if you type something, it won't be available. It's not a predefined, you have to install. Okay, so it won't be available for you. Okay, this is something different. Okay, security operations is something different. That module, you have to install the plugins. It falls under yeah. So
how is the AI integration I mean is going to affect this automation? Like, are you going to have any session on AI integration part of it? the automation over here in this?
And now there is a
Yes.
now assist. Yeah, now currently ServiceNow is going really high with the AI, as you told. We have a call now assist. So whatever you want to do it, I mean, if the developer like for instead of doing multiple developers work, the AI will help you out in reducing the manual efforts, administrative work.
Yeah.
Yes, so that will really help you out. But the AI topics overview, I'll be explaining you, not in depth, because we need the tokens and all. And in personal development instance, what happens is we have limited functionality compared to the real time. So we won't be able to access everything. Okay. We don't get the free plugins. It's a paid plugin. If you talk about when you work in the PDI, okay, that's personal development instance. In real time, you will have access and you will have more functionality compared to the person. For training purpose, this is enough, the personal development instance, to explain all these concepts, integrations and all. Yes, personal development instance is fine. But if you are looking for more in-depth knowledge and all, we need a paid instance. That's
subscription.
Not,
yeah. Okay.
Paid subscription we need. Yes, correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Let's conclude them. Okay. The remaining terms and conditions will be discussed by the institute. Okay. You can check with them and you can take the recording also. If you have missed something initially, yeah, you can go with that. Okay. So there are some plugins. Yeah. These are plugins we need to install it in order to work with that. Okay. So each plugin will cost you something, and that will be provided by the ServiceNow partner.
How is the job market for exclusive ServiceNow?
Yeah, you don't need to look back for ServiceNow at least for another 10 to 15 years. It's high in the market. They are looking for a lot of ServiceNow developers and administrators. So currently the market is high because the tool is evolved already and they are into more enhancements. They are like just checking into the existing capabilities where they can automate, because already they have automated all out of box functionality so far. They want to go with the AI as well. They want to involve, but AI is a bit expensive compared because it started just now. So even in the future, it might come down, and once everything is in place, the AI is completely in place. Yes, then you will be able to use just Now Assist in order to do all the customizations and all. But in order to do that process, first you need to understand the basics of ServiceNow, the core concepts, so that it will help you out. Because in order to write the code or in order to call that glide APIs or classes, as a developer, you need to understand those first, where it works and all.
Yeah. Ajay, are you located in, where are you located?
Hyderabad.
Hyderabad. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. You guys have a nice day then.
All right. Thank you so much, man. Right. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you all.